Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and we are going to be looking at The Running Man, the brand new blockbuster, and I have the best person to talk to about this. He's a running man himself. I'm pretty sure he is. Martin from the Film versus Film podcast. How are you going, man?
I'm very well, thank you. But I don't think I've been running for like over 20 years, but sure.
But no, you're in good shape. You know, when we caught up in England, you look good.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel like I could lose a bit more of my muffin top, but sure. Okay. Yeah, definitely need to get back into running. But I think if I run like Glenn Powell / Tom Cruise, I'll probably do myself a heart attack, and it'll be quite easy for the hunters to get me.
Well, these hunters, they were very interesting. But look, I couldn't think of a better person to come on this podcast and talk about The Running Man because we had such a good episode with Predator Badlands. It was, just last week, which was fantastic. And, the fact that here we are, The Running Man, it's November, it's so close to Christmas. We're going to be talking about Christmas movies now. It's just the year has absolutely flown by. And for you, you've had a very quick 12 hours to get ready for this.
I saw it late last night, went straight to bed and got up and literally recording with you now. So it's very fresh in the mind. Haven't really had a huge amount of time to really process it. I've got many thoughts. Interesting you say it's the new blockbuster. Unfortunately, it hasn't busted any blocks, which is a real shame because I'm a huge fan of Edgar Wright. He has directed some of my favorite films of all time. And I can kind of see why a little bit. It has had mixed reviews, but the Running Man is this kind of game show style film where the contestants die if they fail the game show, and that's nothing new these days because you've got all the Hunger Game movies, you've got Squid Game on Netflix and Battle Royale back in the day. And obviously this is technically a remake of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger film, so I'm guessing really the real appeal for this, three appeals for this going in, isn't necessarily the concept of the film. It's a Stephen King adaptation. Stephen King is a huge writer, mainly for horror, but he's still one of arguably the biggest novelists around. You got Glenn Powell as the star, and
next
Edgar
Action Man.
Yeah, and Edgar Wright directing. So you would have thought, even with the concept, that that would be enough, but clearly not.
No, and the box office doesn't seem to really be reflecting it either, because on a budget of 110 million, this has only made $27 million at the box office, which, as my little tidbits and facts, is that the original 1987 Arnie movie was on a budget of 27 million and only made $38 million at the box office. So as it stands, the original movie has still made more money.
Yeah. We live in different times for sure. Because obviously this is definitely Edgar Wright's biggest budget to date, I think. And you can definitely see the money on the screen, for sure. However, because I don't think there's much like CGI involved in this film at all, which is great to see always for me. But having said that, I feel like, I don't think the budget really reflected the action scenes because yes, this film has kind of got very mixed reviews. Some people have really given it a kicking. Some people have really liked it. Certainly for the satirical stuff. possibly. But that was my main complaint with the film. I mean, I generally kind of, again, it's still pretty fresh, but
Yeah.
I had a good time. But one big complaint is the fact that you don't see the money in the action scenes, which with the budget. And when I was,
Mm,
I feel like, okay, there's some good action, kind of middle of the road action at the moment, and I felt like I was continuing to wait and wait until the big action set piece was going to come,
the
but then
real big
it
one.
did. And unfortunately, I feel like this is another case of that you shouldn't really watch the trailer for this, because all of the action scenes all the big money moments are in the trailer.
All of them.
Yeah,
All of them. That's one of my thoughts when I came out of the film too. I was like,
yeah.
huh. I guess all the quiet moments they didn't want to keep in the film at all, like in the trailer at all.
Yeah. I mean, they're all kind of good action scenes for like 20 years ago. um, I don't know whether it's because, well, I think it is because maybe we just have this unfair expectation with action films when you have, superheroes around these days, and a lot of like sci-fi action films where you can do
Mm,
anything. And if it is more grounded and it's not a Mission Impossible film,
yeah.
you
Or
know,
John Wick.
yeah, then people are going to be kind of very disappointed by it.
Mm,
And there's definitely some invention there, and but I think with like Edgar Wright's direction as well, like he has a very specific style, he has a very precise directing style, and like within, I mean, if you put on like any Edgar Wright film, especially the Cornetto trilogy, you can watch it for
mm.
like 10 minutes and just be like, yeah, that's an Edgar Wright film. Whereas
Straight away.
this
Straight away.
you can't. I don't think you can necessarily say that. I think there's definitely some really clear stuff where yeah, this is an Edgar Wright film, especially in those kind of sort of action scenes with him. And what I quite like about his, I mean, the action that we are given is good, like, but it's just
Yes.
not. But it gave me a sense that, okay, this feels like an appetizer for something bigger to come, but it never did. But however, when I was
Well,
watching it, like Edgar Wright definitely gives you this kind of intimate, intense feel to the action, which you kind of get from Baby Driver as well. I'm a big fan of Baby Driver.
good
But I
movie.
think what helps with Baby Driver is the fact that the characters are really good, really strong. Jamie Foxx and John Hamm are really fucking good in that. Whereas,
Mm,
like in this, like you just got Glenn Powell and that's it, and it's just within the action scenes, and it's not as compelling. Like there's not enough character within the action scenes to really make it pop. And what I also like about like kind of Edgar Wright's kind of tone with his action, especially with like this and Baby Driver, especially, is that they can feel really intense and bloody and quite
mm.
violent at times, which is kind of cool in this kind of very intimate level and of intensity within the action. But then moments later, it's kind of really funny. So
Yeah.
he brings a great like action comedy vibe to his films. But I feel like there definitely could have been a bigger action set piece in here. I mean, the kind of the bridge scene was kind of cool, but I would have thought there would be way more build up to that before he
Yeah.
crashes into the other truck when he's in that quad bike thing when Michael Cera gets shot. And yeah, but
Well, to add to like echo that, like to it's he only survived half the time, half the month. That was something that
yeah,
surprised me. I was like, oh, you only lasted this many days. I was like, oh, I was kind of expecting you to, go at the end and be like the man that's about to finish it.
right.
Um, but you are right. Like it's definitely nothing like Mission Impossible or John Wick, the action. But besides like I said, besides the bridge scene, like there's nothing really like you're like, whoa, like that was, that was cool.
Mm,
That vibe. It was like, okay, all right, thank you for this, thank you for that. And no, you also are correct. There was very minimal CGI as well, which I really liked. It felt
yeah.
very gritty.
Yeah, definitely. But this is kind of like a sci-fi action film. I know it's kind of
Mm.
sort of set. I don't think the film is really set in a specific time. I don't think, but the book is set in 2025. You know, which is kind
Oh,
of interesting. I feel
yeah.
like I always felt like there was supposed to be. It felt like there was supposed to be something bigger than what we got in like the airplane sequence at the end, the jet sequence. Because with like
Yeah.
Baby Driver with the heist, because that's a heist movie, right? So your
Mm.
expectations are set at a certain level. Like you're never going to get anything too bombastic. But I think why that film is so enjoyable for me is because it's kind of like an action musical, whereas this isn't that. It's supposed to be like a full on action
Yeah.
movie,
100%.
um, and it never gets to that level. So that's kind of one of my main complaints about it.
Mm. Well, that's how it's been pitched. How Glenn Powell's been talking about it. Like this is meant to be an action blockbuster. You have the budget behind it. Glenn Powell's in his own way trying to be the next action man, like Tom
Mm,
Cruise. Which as we record, congratulations to him. He just got his first
yeah,
Oscar.
about
First,
time. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be about time. Um, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, it's a good action flick. Not
Mm.
great, not bad. It's just that was good.
Yeah, it's just good. Did you have that same kind of feeling that you're expecting something bigger to come, but it never came?
Or like my surprise was that they cut halfway through the month. Like I was expecting
Oh
it to
right.
be like a kind of like a cannonball run. Like there's the finish line, and it's just going to be
Mm,
massive explosions, or it's going to be all gut wrenching all the way to the end. He has to cross that finish line, and Josh Brolin's character is going to like be there at the end or something, and really get
mm.
to him or something like just something like that. Like the final day, he would throw everything at him to stop him.
Yeah. I didn't mind that too much because I think that's one of the positives for me about the film is actually kind of some of the negatives that a lot of people are talking about, but I actually quite liked it, is the fact that like he kind of realizes that this game is rigged.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not
100%.
gonna if
Nah,
he survives the whole month, they're still gonna kill him anyway, because
yeah.
that was kind of the real interesting thing about this the satirical and sort of political element of it, is the fact that, you know, Ben Richards realizes that this game is rigged, and,
Mm.
they can always track him with kind of like the street lamp thing.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
blood. Your lamps, the lamps are gonna fuck you over too. Like,
yeah, but to be fair, because I think they kind of use this device of the fact, I think it's just a money making device for people to actually
yeah.
watch it, is that people can like report him and they get
Mm,
money if they see him.
mm.
Um, what I quite liked about the film, with the story, is the fact that, you know this isn't about the game. This is about viewing figures. This is about people watching the show.
Mm.
you
Exactly. It's
know,
all about those likes. All
so
about
yeah,
viewership.
exactly, which is kind of what we're doing.
Here we are.
um, oh God, no!
Yeah,
Turn
no,
it off! Turn it
yeah,
off! Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
Death
that
by
that's
Dawn.
but yeah, that's how like Ben Richards decide for him is how he feels he wins the game, is to get people to turn it off.
Mm.
And it's interesting how like the film ebbs and flows with like the narrative that they write with Ben Richards. Um, and I found it really interesting with all the deep fake stuff. Really fascinating with how they're kind of manipulating
Yes.
him, and I
did
kind of
like that.
I liked how like it developed because they make him look like an awful human being, like killing women and children and stuff,
Mm.
I think. And then kind of as the film progresses, this kind of graffiti around the country of Richard's lives
Lives. Yeah.
um keeps popping up. So there is kind of, you know, this rebellious
The resistance.
society out. Yeah, there's a resistance out there. But
Yeah.
so they're all, but then like the Josh Brolin's character plays on that and it's like, yeah, he is the hero. He's going to kill like the hunters. He deep fakes the
Mm.
hunters killing his family.
Mm.
And then he gets the TV audience, the viewers, to get behind Ben. But then when he's like flying the fucking plane towards
The
the
tower.
building,
Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't say tower. The building.
yeah, yeah. Josh Brolin tries to like switch the narrative again
Mm.
to saying he's the bad guy, but then it's too late. Like, no, like the rebellious faction, I guess, of society is like, no, Ben is the true hero here. We're going
Mm.
to turn the fucking TV off or whatever.
It's too late.
And then it's too late. So I quite like that element of the story. That was great. My only issue with that is the fact that we've had we building up to that critical moment on the plane where he sees his family supposedly get killed by the hunters, and Ben Richards gets really fucking pissed off.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm like, which is an incredible performance by Glenn Powell, by the way, which I really loved. But my first thought was the fact that surely there's got to be some doubt in his head that this is another faked thing. Because that's what I was feeling. I was like, dude, like they are manipulating you here right now.
Yeah.
But I guess it must be difficult. I mean, to actually see that, you know, right in front of you, your family getting killed, your first reaction is to go absolutely nuts and crazy. But surely there's got to be an element before you do that is this fake. But later on in the scene, he does acknowledge that, like, was this fake? So
yeah,
I do get that. So I really like that element of it, that this isn't about the game show and actually him winning it and getting to the 30 days. This is actually him realizing that this is all about TV figures and people tuning in to earn the network shit a ton of money. This is about the TV show and making good TV. That's it.
Yeah. And the fact the game is rigged. But I really liked the deep fake stuff because it's just kind of scary because it is really what you can do right now. With Sora and AI. So seeing that, you know, very much that in this movie is like moments like that. I'm like, yeah, see, we're not that far away.
No.
Like, actually, right now, you could do that. But to get a few more years, you could do a whole episode of a TV show and have all the characters completely defaked to do another episode of Seinfeld, which I'm pretty sure someone has done on some ChatGPT has made this whole episode, but you could actually use people's likeness to do that, and it's not far off.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I guess that is one criticism people are saying is that about the film. It's too close to home.
Yeah.
It's hitting too close to home at the moment, and it doesn't go far enough to make it kind of really funny and satirical, whereas it feels too close. I think for me, I kind of like the story elements of how it plays out and like the timing of how like Josh Brolin is trying to manipulate things. And you know, he's trying to create a new TV show for Ben Richards.
For him.
Going to be Hunter 6.
Yes.
You know, and I quite like that reveal of Lee Pace
coming this summer.
Lee Pace's character, Evan McCone, who was the original guy that lasted 29 days until he was
that was a good
hunter.
I like that reveal. I was like, of course it is.
However, that's another gripe I have with the film are the hunters. Because with the 87 film, the Arnie one, like they were kind of really bombastic and crazy characters, the hunters. Jesse Ventura in this kind of weird metal outfit. I mean, looking at it now, they look terrible, but they were kind of really fun and stupid. But
Yeah. Like
that's
these
an
are the
element.
people who are chasing you.
Like that, yeah, that's the element where I thought that could be really kind of modernized and reinvented. Whereas they just put a mask on Lee Pace, put a leather jacket on him and a beret. That's it. And then that kind of is a really interesting style, but I feel like
You look like Zemo.
yeah. That kind of costume doesn't feel like the head of the hunters. That feels like the third or fourth guy that Ben Richards would have killed, in the beginning of the second act kind of thing. I feel
Yeah.
like the design of the hunters should have been way better. At the end of the day, this is like a TV show, and I think that would have helped with the satirical elements as well, with the fact that to make it more funny, just make the hunters look way more interesting rather than make them blend in. Because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
fucking Lee Pace isn't blending in with the mask, is he? So
No.
why don't you make all of them look kind of I'm not talking about rainbow colors, but just make them look kind of interesting. I guess Edgar Wright
Presidents.
Yeah, maybe Edgar Wright is thinking, okay, I don't want this to feel like a superhero movie, or put them in superhero costumes, but so I kind of get that a little bit, but I feel like there could have been, those characters could have been way more interesting,
Even if they had, something really simple, like just weird names, just weird names that as their kill streaks for whoever they killed, they have a whole like a Deadpool or something like that. Just the fact that it's still a game for them too to kill the runners, which the other two did not last very long. One of them really was scorched to earth and is effed, and that was effed up. But you're right. They weren't really. It was very much just generic military men. Let's just get you, and one has a beret. Done.
Yeah.
No more.
I think again it kind of plays into this thing of that the world feels too familiar, and there's not a huge separation between the rich and the poor. It felt like they do make a conscious effort to make that separation when Ben Richards is walking from where he lives to the network building. That's the other kind of funny thing about the film, is that in the UK there's a supermarket called the Co-op. There's literally a Co-op down the road, and this city is called Co-op City. So
really too close to home.
Yeah, so that was kind of really funny that in my head this kind of fairly small supermarket chain has become a huge network
Global
empire, company.
Yeah.
They've stopped selling meal deals and sandwiches to
TV shows. That's what you need to do.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. Also, the kind of the first half of the film, I was just thinking, why are you wearing two hoodies? I'm not a two hoodie guy, but it's like he's got two jackets on or three jackets on.
I love that's what you pick up, the fact these are actually maybe what the fuck are you wearing? What are you doing?
Did you not see that? He's got a hoodie up and he's got another one down. I'm like, who does that?
It's the near future. You can be weird and wonderful, which I've actually just double checked. It doesn't actually say the year. All it says is the near to distant future.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like, well, it seemed a lot closer.
I don't know. It just seems like he's got three jackets on. That's all. How many jackets do you need, dude?
Enough to run away. How do you feel about the other two runners?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Katie O'Brien. I think she's great. I loved the film she was in, Love Lies Bleeding. That was a great role for her.
I feel like she's been everywhere at the moment. I don't know,
Yeah.
just between like this, between that, between Ant-Man 3, and what's the one I'm off the top of my head? Ahsoka? No, was it Ahsoka? No, Andor.
No, Mandalorian. I think she was in. Yeah, was she? No, yeah, Ahsoka. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Ahsoka. Sorry, yes, Ahsoka. And I was just like, geez, you're ticking the box office.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the Star Wars shows blend into one to me.
Yes, right. I just proved that. Ahsoka, Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and around that area.
Yeah. I find it was really interesting because again, it kind of sort of echoes this culture with reality TV, with the fact that they're very much focused on the casting of like who they want to be on the show. So you have so it seems like every Running Man series is very similar. So they want the idiot guy that's just like, hey, I'm on the Running Man. How we,
Yeah.
you
Did you
know,
see the guy? He was really cute. Yeah, I'm the Running Man. Oh no, I didn't
yeah.
watch it. Oh, okay. You
And then
should watch it.
he gets himself killed really quickly.
Yeah.
And then you have the person that's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to really enjoy myself with all the money I've got before I die. And that's obviously Kate O'Brien's character. And then you have the final guy in Ben Richards. So I kind of like how the show kind of structures it like that. For every series, they're just trying to find these people that would fit those molds, fit those roles. So I quite like that idea.
No, I did as well. I just I thought the funny guy that dies so quickly. I was like, of course you die. Of course you die. And that's exactly what would happen in the real world if this show was real.
Yeah.
And to even more reflection, you even have the YouTuber exposing all of it, episode by episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Uh,
was kind of cool. Again, very reflective of like our day now. Like, he's the character that shows Ben Richards that this is all rigged and like,
yeah.
you can't like play along with the game to survive because you will end up dying. You have to, fight against them in a different way, which he does, obviously.
You have to beat the system.
Mm.
I thought I liked his character. I thought he was good. I was like, of course, there's one person who's doing the back end YouTube stuff. See, it's all fake. And even like, I liked Michael Cera's character too. He did look like he had so much fun with this.
Yeah, he was really interesting as well because he kind of had this kind of unhinged quality about him, this craziness. Because I was like, okay, he feels like because he's set up as this character that he can trust wholeheartedly. And then obviously his mother is absolutely cray. Who's super into the Running Man. It's him, get him.
Such an evil voice. Get him.
Yeah. So it was kind of weird in the moment when like Michael Cera presses the button to say like, one of the Running Men is here. And it was like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah.
But then it was just like, nah, he's home alone his house.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's just doing it to literally just kill off, to have fun and like kill all the network goons. So I was like, I'm not sure Ben Richards is very appreciative of that, to be fair.
No, which we see 10 minutes in when he's like, we're still in the house. Oh yeah, just this way. Behind the hot dog cart.
And then get stabbed.
And then it's I felt it.
Too cocky.
When that hunter went down with him being sliced on his Achilles, like, I felt that. I was like, fuck, okay, yep. Everything I've just watched, that's the most painful thing I've seen.
But again, they kind of show like the water soaker thing, water gun thing in the trailer, so that wasn't a huge surprise. But again, like the other kind of booby trap things didn't feel they were fun, but like they didn't feel like massively spectacular. Like the other one was the table kind of flips over and they flame throw some of the guys. It's probably the best one, but then like the other one was just they're going up the stairs and like this bar just takes them out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel massively inventive that.
No, but I like the floor where he just takes the water gun one. And
Yeah,
he's
that
just
was
like,
good
"What are you
though.
doing?" And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. uh,
Mm.
it's creative in that way, but yeah, like that was all that was good. But then we go straight to we get the big action piece, and
Mm.
then we go another lull again.
Mm. A little bit,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, for a film that's going for 133 minutes. Like, did you feel that time?
Um, Not really. No, I think it's just a testament to for how good like Glenn Powell is. I think Glenn Powell is just such a great presence on screen. Yes, you don't have like the cocky charm about him like that you get in like Top Gun Maverick and Twisters, but
No.
I think he's still like really good here, and I think there's enough going on in the story um that keeps you going. I didn't feel the pace too much. No, the slowing down. I think all the kind of the little moments worked well for me, actually. But I just thought, like, certainly with the action, there's definitely a conscious effort, I think, with this story to not arm Ben Richards. He doesn't. Well, he has like a gun in one moment, but he decides to shoot the camera,
Yeah.
which I think is quite a wise decision for his character. That he's not a killer. He's not an ex-soldier. Because I think like
No.
Arnie is like a resistance fighter in that film. So I mean, it would
Mhm.
be crazy not to like arm, and not give Arnold Schwarzenegger machine guns and stuff because that's what
Exactly
you
right. It's Arnie. You give him the gun.
that's what you expect. But like for here, it feels a bit more sophisticated. Not to diss the original film, but like I don't think it would have worked tonally if you were going to arm and give stack Glenn Powell with shit ton of weapons at some point, like you do in Hot Fuzz, like he does in Hot Fuzz.
No,
Um,
no,
but
no, no, it
but
wouldn't.
I think that harms the action scenes. You know, it
'Cause
doesn't make the action scenes. It could have enhanced the action if he does decide in one moment to just pick up a machine gun and go for
go
it.
for it.
But again, that's something that um the network definitely could have manipulated, and it could have kind of worked in the story's favor as well. So it's an interesting balancing act that the film goes with, and I think that certainly the film goes with more of the story elements uh and the narrative kind of juggling act with what Josh Brolin's trying to do with this show
Mm.
compared to the action.
Well, I think, yeah, I definitely think so. Like, it did feel a little bit like he's a little bit MacGyver and like him just getting
Mm.
out of the situations, or it
Yeah.
just happens to have something, or, of course, he loses his towel and we see his ass when he's trying to get in the window. I was like, of course. And I can hear every woman screaming right now in the
Yeah.
theater. um, but how did you also feel about, oh my God, his name? I was just on the tip of my tongue. Uh, Bobby T.
Yeah, I think he was really cool.
Another
Uh,
character, I think he absolutely loved that to a T.
yeah, he was great. Again, just like really over the top, really didn't give a shit about the running people.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he was really
no,
great.
not
Domingo,
at all.
Colum Domingo. Um, yeah, I liked him.
Yeah,
I love that
no,
bit at the end where he was just like when he kind of realizes that the crowd are definitely behind
Ben.
Ben Richards, and there's no way of manipulating the crowd anymore. And he's just gonna quit. And he's just like, yeah, I've got this uh, piece of small print in my contract that says
Yeah, how to hear? I liked his character too. I was like, yeah, you were the perfect person for this. But even his segments when he was twisting everything, you're like, oh, these two kids, they did a fantastic job by setting ablaze one of the runners. Should be
Yeah.
so proud of them.
Yeah, that was weird. Like 2 kids, like with flamethrowers. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
Again, I feel like the film should have had more of that kind of craziness to it. Like it's in some ways, like it felt safe. That it didn't go far enough with that kind of stuff. Like, because that felt like the most outrageous thing that the film does.
That was the
in a
darkest
way.
thing.
Yeah, and they definitely could have done more with that, I think. I mean, you got kids with flamethrowers. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, just turned her alive. And they even said it's like she thought she got away until have a look, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna watch it on TV, her being burned alive.
Yeah, I feel like there could have been certainly way more characters that just were way over the top with like what armaments they've got, trying to kill Ben Richards. But they kind of show that a little bit, and there's a moment on the highway when they're trying to drive to the thing, and there's these 2 kind of sort of hillbilly characters with big guns, and then like the TV camera like blows it up, like obviously that's a clear indication that there's a particular narrative that the TV show wants to go down. I'm like, no, you're not killing him now, fuck off.
No, too soon. Cut.
Yeah, this is not good TV.
No, and that caught me surprised because I was like, whoa, okay. Like they're really gonna do this. They really want to do that mission.
Yeah.
But I did again. I do like how Glenn Powell just took the piss out of Lee Pace's character. Like, you take your mask off, and then let's talk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing is the fact that that all kind of Ben recognizes that he has an element of power and control at this point in the film, even
He's
though
the hero.
Yeah, he's the hero of the narrative within the TV show in that moment. So, even though Josh Brolin pretty much holds all the cards in that moment, the fact that he knows he doesn't have a bomb, that it is that woman's purse.
Yeah, that for a good like 20 minutes too. Like for everything that happens, he knows. And I said to my mate when we went and watched this, I was like, it doesn't matter what Josh Brolin's in at the moment. Like, I was half expecting him to say that he's on the screen, run from it, dread it. Where'd that lead you? Back to me.
Yeah.
That's all I was expecting. Like, all I can hear is Thanos.
Yeah.
Through that. But I think he played a good villain as well. Like, I knew he wasn't going to last. I'm like, you are so dead by the end of this film. Like, there is no way you're getting out of this one for a sequel or anything like that. But it is like, as we said with the start of this episode, it's just a shame because I think it deserves more money than what it's getting at the moment. And next week, Wicked for Good is going to make an absolute killing at the box office. Avatar is going to make a killing at the box office. Hell, stretch it out. Anaconda with Paul Rudd and is probably going to make more money than this.
Yeah, that looks really funny, to be fair. I do love, Jack Black has done some shitty films recently, like Minecraft, but it has its fans. But he's always good in everything. But kind of what's kind of this film has reminded me of a little bit is John Carter. When John Carter came out, whereas that years ago,
that was
which
Disney.
was a huge budget with Taylor Kitsch as John Carter. Why they didn't call it John Carter of Mars, I don't know. But that is an adaptation of the original source material and that inspired Star Wars and lots of other sci-fi projects. That's the OG thing that a lot of people looked at. Maybe Dune as well. I can't remember. But this is kind of a similar thing. we finally get another Running Man movie,
Mm.
which is the OG source material for all this kind of reality TV,
More faithful.
you know, TV shows that can kill you if you don't win.
Yeah.
But it's just it
Like
feels like it's
MasterChef.
coming too late with all the other inspired ones like Squid Game and Hunger Games, which
Yes.
is taking inspiration from the Running Man.
From this exact story.
But then
So
people
it's
are
all,
like, "Oh, well, yeah, we've seen this already. I'm not interested."
yeah. But the thing is, how, like, except making the goons a little bit more funnier and the military guys a bit differently. Like, I can't really see. I was thinking about when I finished the film. I was like, I can't really pinpoint on what would have been the difference to really make it to make that money. Like, not Top
Mm,
Gun money, but give Glenn Powell the justice the fact that this is a decent action flick, which he carries very well
mm.
throughout
I
the
think,
film.
I think, I think it's just the issues that we've been talking about. Really, it's the fact that I think that it needed to be a bit more inventive with the action. I think if you're going to make that conscious decision of the fact that Ben Richards is not going to kill people along the way, then you know, so you are consciously like limiting yourself, which is usually a good thing. You look at Predator Badlands. The
Yeah.
Predator loses all his tech and he has to get creative to survive.
Mm.
Whereas this, like, it's a similar thing in that kind of way, but like, I don't think the inventiveness is quite there that we kind of expect from Edgar Wright. So I think, yeah, so I know it's a really difficult thing, and you got to you want to be faithful to the book as well. There are definitely changes from the book, apparently. What's interesting as well is that I think, regardless of box office numbers, I think I recently saw from Edgar Wright that Stephen King said that it's faithful enough, which was great, but also like there was enough changes there that I was gripped and still on the edge of my seat. So there was a great balance of like being faithful and mixing new stuff. So
A little bit
ultimately, I
different.
think for Edgar Wright, I think it's a win. He's done a great job in his eyes. The fact
Oh,
the author has said it's really good. So apparently,
that's a that's a pat on your back.
the email he got was just like the subheading was like, "Wow!"
Yeah.
apparently from Stephen King.
Jeez. Well, so was I saw the interview with Glenn Powell, and he was saying how when Arnie watched it, he didn't sit in the theater with him, but he watched it, and he was obviously a little bit nervous. And when Arnie came out of the viewing room, he was like,
Mm.
"Love it, so good." So I guess if you get the original starring actor and you get the author giving you a thumbs up, I guess the box office really doesn't. Yeah, it's almost like, it's a shame, but at least I got approval from 2 out of
Yeah.
3.
I just hope this doesn't really impact like Edgar Wright's future projects, because I think maybe that could be a good thing as well, that he's not working with like such a big budget. I don't know, but obviously there has been a clamoring for Baby Driver 2, and he's talked about Baby Driver 2 in the past. But I think maybe it's a case that Edgar Wright pretty much works best with his original writing,
Yeah.
because
Maybe not based on somebody else.
this is his second like adaptation. Scott Pilgrim versus the World being the first one.
Oh, that's right. I like that. I thought that
Yeah,
was good.
so that was
But
really good. So I feel
yeah.
like, I mean, if you're to do like an Edgar Wright ranking of his films, like, this wouldn't really be that high up, I don't think, for me, unfortunately.
5, top 5.
Maybe not even that, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Fair
But
enough.
that's the standard that like Edgar Wright fans expect. Like he's a fucking good filmmaker and makes incredibly good films. And I think this and The World's End are the only real like mixed bag movies that he's made, in my opinion. I know that there are people that are a bit mixed on Baby Driver as well. I don't know who those people are. Baby Driver is fucking amazing.
It is. It is. And to echo that, I've just had a quick look. So from IMDb's rankings, I'm pretty sure we both know what number one is. I think that's a no-brainer.
Is it?
Oh, well, sorry. What do you think is his number one? It's got
my personal
7.8.
favorite is Hot Fuzz. So I guess number one is Shaun of the Dead.
Yes, Hot Fuzz is 3. Oh, hang on. Why is that in terrible order? All right, that's better. Sorry. Yeah. So all right. Number one is Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Hot Fuzz. Number 3 is the Sparks Brothers.
Okay, yeah.
And then 4 is Baby Driver.
Yeah, Baby Driver is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely put like Scott Pilgrim right up there. I think that's a great movie.
Number
Baby
5.
Driver, yeah. And obviously Last Night in Soho, I'm a big fan of as well.
Number 6.
So yeah, maybe just needs to go back to some original writing. I suspect he's got scripts on his desk that he's been working on. So
100%.
And obviously, like a lot of fans would absolutely love if he could work with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg again.
That would be absolutely no-brainer. No-brainer.
If he wants a box office hit, get those two back in a movie directed by and written by Edgar Wright, for sure.
100%. Do you think it's still a shame with everything that happened with him and Ant-Man?
I think he certainly moved on from it. Apparently he hasn't watched Ant-Man. I don't last time he's spoken about it. Yeah, I think it's just one of those classic cases like that you see with so many Star Wars projects as well, is that you know, maybe just Edgar Wright just isn't really suited to working with a big studio. You kind of had the same thing with Bond with Danny Boyle, that he was attached to do the latest Bond film and he dropped out because of creative differences. So yeah, I think just some directors are just not suited to big studio movies.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
You know it's all true. You know it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fear though, isn't it? With Edgar Wright, it's just like this is a pretty, in the grand scheme of things at the moment, this is a big flop. So you just hope
by the numbers, yes.
Yeah, so you just hope he hasn't been put in like director jail, like your Patty Jenkins or your Taika Waititi's. You know, that they haven't made a film. Tom Hooper, like those guys barely can get a film made now.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's funny you mentioned about Patty Jenkins, because she was going to be directing a Star Wars film. Which was
Rogue Squadron or something.
That's it. And basically, I think the original version of that, it was basically meant to be Top Gun in space.
I would love to see that. That would be amazing. How have we not got that? It's just
hey, that might happen in Top Gun 3. Like, no, we've done everything on Earth. Yeah. It's to the moon, boys.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Cruise has wildly spoken about that he wants to make a film in space, in actual space.
I thought he did. I thought he
was that the Top Gun thing? Oh, I don't know, but
yeah, there was something he did shoot that was in space, but like, come on, that's not the wild thing. But look, to having a look at some of the reviews for this film, there's one comment here that it's spiritually sprinting through grim source material and doesn't live up to the director's high bar for innovative action, but maintains a slick stride. So there you go. Completely concurs to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is that, there was just not that oomph. But there's one here saying it is a big, overwhelming improvement from the Arnie version.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
I think with the Arnie version, yeah, it's like really fun, but it's kind of typical 80s
oh,
ridiculousness.
yeah, of course, of course.
So, you know, but I feel like that's the thing that this film is kind of lacking, is that there needs to be a bit more craziness about this world, and there just
Mm,
isn't, to give it that little bit of extra bite and
mm.
kind of dirty tone, whereas I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but like I feel like there could have been more craziness here,
Mm.
but it just never got there, I don't think.
No, I think the most craziest, probably one of the most craziest moments we got was when Glenn Powell was talking in the camera and like flipping him off in the tunnel.
Yeah.
When he's giving his speech, but yeah, it just didn't have that. Yeah, there we go. There's the photo.
Mm.
But no, it just didn't have that crazy enough. And I look, I hope this doesn't also not only doesn't hurt, sorry, does not hurt Edgar Wright, but also doesn't hurt Glenn Powell.
Nah, I think Glenn Powell will be fine, to be fair. I think he's got enough like blockbuster hits under his belt. I don't think he's in like a Sydney Sweeney situation where she's just had like flop after flop after flop. So I think it's easier when you look like that, when you look like Glenn Powell, like
Yeah.
he can afford one flop. So
Yes.
I think you're fine.
Well, if we look at Arnie has had a few flops,
Yeah,
and
exactly. And he did all
uh,
right, didn't he?
he did. And had a few flops, and then you do twins, and then boom, right back up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But look, any final like, kind of words to wrap up for the Running Man? How many Running Man out of 10 Running Man would you would you give this?
um, I would probably go like 6.5. So if we're talking combining Predator Badlands, like Glenn Powell plus Elle Fanning's legs. There you go, 6.5. 6.5 running people.
Which as we said last week, they could really kill those legs. God damn. And high five you while you do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I give it six Running Men for this. Actually, I haven't even checked yet. Have you done your letterbox review for it yet?
No, yeah, I haven't had a chance.
Oh yeah, sorry, this is still so fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go and easily giving it like 5 stars straight away. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, go watch it again. I'm like, what was I watching before?
Yeah,
This is awesome.
Yeah. This is great. Well, look, it's only early days. However, at this moment, unfortunately, the Running Man is competing right now with Predator Badlands. It is competing with Now You Can See Now You Can See Me 3, and about next week, it's about to go get blown out of the water by Wicked. For good.
Yeah.
Which I unfortunately didn't get an invite to that premiere.
Oh no. Oh.
Nah, but the premiere for this was great.
I bet Maddie's like, oh, for God's sake, man.
Oh yeah. I got very interesting messages when I came out of the premiere of like, where are you? Oh my god, it was a good night. I did not know they were going to be there. I didn't touch any of them, and I showed them my ring right when I went up to them. So, but no, as always, thank you so much for coming on this episode, man. I always appreciate it. And I look forward to the next one. And we're going to make sure the fact for this episode, all the film notes And all the links to the Film versus Film podcast will be there. Please definitely go check him out. He does a fantastic job, especially his reels. He's always a podcast to follow. And as a running mate, try and catch up to you.
Oh no, always trying to catch up to you too.
Well, as always, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, ranters and rantettes. And until next time, happy ranting.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.